The struggle is real. I'm so tired. Coffee cup bigger than my head. What's up, you guys? Welcome back. Today's video is going to be prison hacks. I have some really good ones for you guys, but before we get started, I have a couple of mentions. I got some things in my P.O. box that I have got to show you guys. The first one is from the company Curic Curic, and I love them. This is not sponsored. They just sent me a gift. Like, I don't work for them. I'm not getting paid to say this. I love them. I've been following them for a very long time on Instagram, and we're actually friends. So I originally found them from the YouTuber Christina Kuzmik, I think her name is. She makes all those really funny videos on Facebook and on YouTube. I just love her to death, and get up and try to show you guys these jeans. They are so... I'll stand on my bench. They are so cute. Look at them. So they are repurposed hand-painted jeans, which means they're eco-friendly, and oh, I'm obsessed with this company. They're two Croatian sisters that live in New York. So you guys, thank you so much for sending these to me. I absolutely love them. They're literally so soft. I will leave their information in the description box of this video. Thank you again so much for thinking of me and sending me these amazing jeans that I could literally sleep in. Like, they're so great, so thank you. Oh, even the bag that, I mean, this didn't, it came in a box, but the bag that they put the jeans in is painted. Like, stop. This is the cutest thing ever. I seriously just want to save the paper bag because they painted it. Like, adorable. Okay, the next thing I haven't opened yet, but it is a children's book, and it's from Stardust Children's Book Company. And we talked on Instagram, and I knew that she was gonna send this to me. Let's try to open it. Cut this bad boy. Ooh, okay. Let's see. Oh, how cute. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. It's called Stardust. I love reading books to the girls before they go to bed. It's kind of our tradition. Oh my god, this is so cute. I mean, even the pictures are just so cute. My girls are gonna love this. Thank you so much for sending this to me. And again, I will leave Stardust Children's Book Company in the description box of this video too. This is so cute. Thank you so much. Also, I have received so many letters. I don't read them on camera, but please know if you send me a letter, I do read it, and I actually save it in this box so that years from now I can look back and see all of your letters, and I appreciate it so much. One more thing before we get into today's video. I know, I'm sorry the intro is gonna be super long, but if you are not following me on Instagram, please do so. I do a lot of behind the scenes stuff over there. I do a lot of live streams over there, and I'm traveling to New York and Florida this month, so you're gonna see a ton of things behind the scenes on my Instagram. I'm going to meet Christina Randall in Florida at the end of August, so make sure you're following us on Instagram. If you guys hear a loud truck, it's because the garbage truck is outside my house and he's just parked there. I don't know what he's doing. I have no idea. Okay. Moving on, prison hacks. The first prison hack that I have seen is making a stinger. Now, if you do not know what a stinger is, it's literally like this contraption that you make to boil water. So the really cool thing about YouTube is you get to see all of these really awesome videos, and I have seen people on YouTube making these stingers. I think Brewing made a stinger. You literally take batteries and razor and wire. Is it wire? Yeah, you need wire. Okay, battery, razor, and wire. You hook it all up together and you make a stinger. And I'll try to find Brian's video and leave it on the card or in the description box so you can actually see him making a stinger. And what it does is it heats up the water. So a lot of you are like, well, why would you ever need that? Don't you have microwaves or hot water? A lot of the times you are locked in your cell and you cannot come out. Or you don't have hot water. So I've been in facilities where they have these little like things that dispense hot water, but I have seen women rig that hot water thing to make it 10 times hotter than it's supposed to be, and then they throw the hot water, burning someone in prison. So then the correctional officers would come in and actually take away the entire unit of hot water thingy. So we can't make soups. So you'd have to just get really creative, and making a stinger is just one of those things. So, you know, inmates are very clever. They're very creative, and they do so much with so little. I have seen the most genius hacks or things that are very innovative done in prison, and a stinger is one of them. Number two, making a tattoo gun. And I'm sure this has been done on YouTube before. If you guys know of someone making a tattoo gun on YouTube, please leave that in the comment section down below. I've only seen this once in prison, but I've seen it like 3 or 4 times in the street because my homies had to make a tattoo gun for some reason, just to kind of flex and show that they could. So I have never gotten a prison tattoo because I don't trust people. Prison's also really dirty. There's a lot of infections and I'm good. I'll wait till I hit the street. However, if I was serving a very long sentence, if I was serving 10 years or I was a lifer, I would absolutely get tattoos because I love tattoos. There's also different ways to do it. You can make a tattoo machine, you can do stick and poke, which is like awful and it takes forever. I have a lot of friends that have like old school tattoos that are like stick and poke tattoos, you know? So yeah, they would take apart electronics and get a little motor and they would actually be able to use it as a makeshift rotary tattoo machine, which is like genius. And they could steal needles from medical. I mean, there's all different ways to do it. You make tattoo ink from ash. It's just crazy. The things that you do in prison, genius. Also, I don't recommend getting a homemade tattoo ever because you get hepatitis. So don't do that ever. Number 3, making jewelry from trash bags. You guys, I have had the most beautiful rosaries made from trash bags. So what you do is you take the trash bag, you make it really tight. You can make rings, you can make earrings, you can make necklaces, you can make all kinds of things. I had trash bag gauges. It sounds so stupid. Trash bag gauges. But inmates are clever and they can do so much with so little, like I said. So inmates would steal trash bags and they would make jewelry out of them. And I wish I had that. Maybe I can get one of my friends to send me something to show you guys because they're really good. Like you would never look at it and say, oh yeah, that's a trash bag. Like no, you look at it and you're like, that's plastic. Because it literally looks like a plastic rosary or a plastic ring or a plastic earrings. So genius level skill to take a trash bag or to look at a trash bag and be like, that'll make a really good necklace. What? Genius. Oh, I've also seen people making roses from like toilet paper, but like the really good roses or from magazines, or there's all different kinds of things that you can do. But I think my personal favorite was the rosaries made from the plastic trash bags. Number 4, there are so many things you can do with pads. So many things you can do with pads. And this might be one of the reasons why officers don't want to give inmates pads, even though we desperately needed them because it was that time of the month. There were other things that we could do with pads. So a lot of the officers in a lot of the facilities that I've been to only give women 2 to 3 pads a day. If you're lucky, I've had officers tell me no. Just straight up no. So you can make tampons from pads. And the first time I saw that, I was like, damn, this is genius. Because in New York, county jail and prison, they give you tampons. In Arkansas, they do not. So I was just like, damn, y'all are creative. And what they would do is they would take the cotton out of the pad because the pads don't stick in your underwear anyway and it's a hot mess. And they would roll up really tightly the cotton and then take the outside of the protective unit. No. They would take the outside of the pad and wrap that around so it wasn't just cotton going up there. And it worked. You do what you gotta do. You can make 2 or 3 tampons from one pad, and that's just literally what you had to do, you guys. It's what we had to do to not bleed all over ourselves. Another really innovative thing you can do with pads is make them a sleep mask. Oh, where's mine? I have one because I still sleep with a sleep mask to this day. I like it really dark in my room. Dark and cold, like my soul. I'm just kidding. So you can make a sleeping mask with a pad, and the reason why women do that is because the lights in a prison are really hostile and they come on at like 5 a.m. and they're really bright. So sleeping with a sleeping mask is something that we would have to do if we wanted to get extra sleep. We're still talking about pads. So another thing that you could do with pads is you could actually just use them to clean your cell or clean your locker. Now keep in mind, we did not get cleaning supplies on a regular basis. They would also give us mops that had been to every other barracks and every other bathroom around every other toilet, and it just was not good. You're not getting bleach, you're not getting Lysol, you're getting nothing. And in county jails, they'd give you these wool blankets. They don't do that in prison, but it would just shed everywhere. Just, disgusting, nasty. So that like fuzzy hair would get all over the cell. And then in prison, there's dust. You want to clean your locker, you want to clean things, and a lot of women used pads to clean. Number 5, I have never personally seen this. However, a very good friend of mine who's in federal prison says he makes calzones. That's right, calzones, like the pizza in the little fried dough thing. And what he does is he steals flour and baking soda and all the stuff he needs from the cafeteria, and he brings it back, he makes a dough, and he actually heats up oil that he also steals and fries it in his cell. He claims that it tastes exactly like a calzone in the street, but I will test that theory when he gets out. I can't wait for you guys to meet him, and we're gonna see how he does it in the penitentiary. So can't wait to see that. And you could buy cheese and pepperoni and like the filling on commissary. So I'm like dying to see how the hell you make a calzone in prison. Number 6, making a cell phone charger. This is like the most creative, the most innovative, the most skill ever to put together wires and batteries and create something that will charge a cell phone. Now, personally, I have never seen this myself because I never saw a phone in prison, ever. Every man in the history of ever that I've ever spoken to ever has had a phone in prison. It's just a lot harder for women to get things like that for whatever reason, but I've never seen a cell phone in prison. But every single male that I've ever talked to that has been in prison had a cell phone in prison. I actually know of a couple right now that's in video chat. Okay, moving on. But yeah, there's cell phones in prison. There's one prison in particular that I'm not gonna say because I have a friend there, that the inmates run the prison and there is phones on every single unit. Cell phones, you guys, inside prison. They're FaceTiming, they're on Facebook Live, which is really, really stupid, and a lot of people have gotten caught up like that. It made the news one time. A guy was Facebook Living, bragging about killing someone, so obviously they found out, they took him to segregation, they charged him with that murder. It just happens. It's just part of prison to get into fights or to get contraband like that. And right now, there are certain prisons in this country that is like third world country, you guys. It's crazy. And I have a very specific prison in mind that I want to share about, but I'm not going to put it all out there because, like I said, I do have a friend there. Number 7, Pruno or hooch. And there's a lot of different names for that, but it's basically alcohol. I mean, it is alcohol. So what they do is they take fruit and sugar and bread and they mush it all together, and juice, they put juice in there, and they have to put it in a bag or a container, and it's a whole process to make alcohol, but basically it like ferments and like gets disgusting and turns into alcohol. I have had it before. It tastes like actual garbage because it is garbage. And it's really, really gross, but it works, you guys. It works. It works. Ugh. If you ever find yourself in jail or prison, do not do this because they will take you to jail. Segregation. They'll take you to segregation. And in jail, we call segregation jail. So yeah, don't do it. Wouldn't recommend it. It also tastes really bad. I have had some guys tell me like, I make it and it tastes like wine. Cool. Nasty. Like, to me, I'm sorry if you're like a hooch making genius. I believe you, but I've always had it and it tasted like garbage. It was so gross. Number 8, fire. Literal fire. So you could take batteries, again, batteries and razor blades and make fire. Now they do this, they do this for several different reasons. You could just want to heat up your coffee. Say you're on lockdown and all we have is instant coffee, and on the sink you just have 2 little buttons, and if you press the button 87 times, you might get lukewarm water. It's really, like, really ridiculous. You can't have a hot cup of coffee, or you can't heat up a soup, or you can't heat up oatmeal, or you can't heat up your food if you're on lockdown. So since you could buy batteries on the commissary for your radio, you have batteries, you also have razors, so you take it apart and it gets hot enough and you get a little piece of like clothing or sheet and you can create fire. And I'm gonna try to find a picture of a friend of mine that was doing that, but it's very hard for me to find that picture. I might have deleted it, so I'm sorry if there's no picture to be inserted here, but I am going to try to find it. It's genius. It's genius. And if they saw an officer coming, they do it over the toilet, they just drop it in the toilet and it would be gone in 2 seconds. So again, I would not recommend that. It's not safe. Do not try this at home, kids. But yeah, you can make fire in prison from razors and batteries. Number 9, hair dye. So I've seen women take Kool-Aid and make hair dye. So if you have blonde hair and your roots are growing out and like they're gray or like a lighter color, you know, you could just dye your roots. I have seen women take coffee and Kool-Aid and mix it together and make hair dye to cover their roots or whatever the situation is. But I have seen, you know, women putting together certain things like Kool-Aid and coffee to make hair dye, and it actually works. I mean, if you leave it on there forever, it totally works. They could also take Kool-Aid and make a lip stain. I am going to be filming a prison makeup tutorial, It was my experience with prison. You could buy makeup in prison. In county jail, you'd have to use colored pencils, coffee, and a prayer. But in prison, you could actually buy a little bit of makeup and some pieces there. And I will show you how a lot of people did their makeup in prison. It's not sexy, but I will show you guys that later. And yeah, there's just a lot of different things that you could do to look better. And I think a lot of people misunderstand why you'd want to look good in prison. You guys, you just want to feel good about yourself. Prison really just makes you feel like less of a human, if that makes sense, and you just want something to make you feel pretty. You know, makeup could be your war paint. Makeup makes you confident. It makes you, if you feel like you look good, you feel good. And women just wanted to feel good. And they wanted a little bit of individuality. Okay, number 10, nail polish. Now, when I first saw this, I was like, girl, how'd you get those nails? Like, I was so shocked. So a friend of mine in prison, the last prison I was at, which was McPherson prison, she was just sitting at the table writing and her nails were so shiny. And I'm just like, excuse me, ma'am, how are your nails shiny? Like, no, tell me right now. She's like, oh, I can't tell you, New York, like, can't tell you. And I'm just like, you're not gonna get away with that easy. Like, no, tell me right now. And it took me a few days to get her to tell me. So she would take the wax from the mop bucket wheels and take it off, heat it up a little bit, and that would create this like gel, and it was just a clear coat of nails, and her nails looked so pretty. So, and you could actually mix that wax in with like Kool-Aid and make different colors, but if the cops saw you have like colored nail polish, it would be a problem. So she would only keep it a clear coat so her nails looked clean. I just thought like, girl, you're a genius. You were a genius. That is it for my prison hacks, but I cannot end this video without saying there are so many talented people in prison, you guys. There are so many articulate, intelligent, really, really smart people that are so skilled. I've seen the best tattoo artists come from prison. I've seen the best drawings, the best paintings. I mean, you guys wouldn't even believe. I've read the best poems. I've read the best stories from inmates in prison. So I just don't want anyone to see this and think that just because you're in prison, it doesn't mean that you're not intelligent or you're not talented or you're not skilled. They're human beings that made a mistake, you guys. And I just have to say that in this video because I have met the most intelligent people behind those walls. And it truly is sad that gifted, intelligent, intellectual people are sitting in a prison cell right now. And just one mistake away from spending a long time in prison. And that is why I changed my life, because I know that rung home for me. I was just one mistake away from spending the rest of my life in prison. And I'm so grateful for my sobriety. I'm so grateful for changing my life. So I'm gonna end today's video here. Stay safe, stay sober, do not break the law, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.